We will start with the big news in La Liga today. Barcelona registering their players on the eve of their game against Rayo. That's 6 of their players, 4 of their new signings and 2 of the players who have been renewing their contracts. Jules Koundé is still not registered. They will still have to free up some space on the wage bill to do that. But this is good news for the team. On the eve of their game against Rayo Vallecano, our whole team are actually in Barcelona ahead of that game, and we're now joined by Alexis Nunes. So Alexis, this is good news for the Barca fans and especially for everybody who's going to be watching this game. Players registered. Tell us how they did it.
Yeah, Kate, it is absolutely massive news. And earlier today, we were invited to a tour of the newly renamed Spotify Camp Nou. And while we were there were a ton of people here on vacations, and then all of a sudden, everyone was looking down at their phones and basically reading the breaking news that Barcelona had activated their 4th economic lever, selling 25% of Barca studios to a company called Orpheus Media here. And that would be enabling them to register the rest of the players, at least 5 of them that we saw there. The one that still hasn't been registered, as you mentioned, is Jules Koundé. But this just kind of made everybody super happy because, with all due respect to all the other players, the amount of Robert Lewandowski jerseys I saw today at the Camp Nou, it's clear who everybody wants to see tomorrow. And I think that's exactly who Barcelona were hoping to field tomorrow. But this is absolutely massive news because we all know that Barcelona have been stealing the headlines this summer, making these signings and hopefully building a team that can finally compete with Real Madrid. But honestly, it has been a very exciting day. And for those that may not know about Orpheus Media, they are another production house, and how they're hoping to give Barcelona revenue is the fact that they're going to try sell some things online digitally, as well as NFTs for those who know about that digital world. And then Jaume Roner, he was the manager, the CEO, the president of these 2 companies, and he gave an interview today after that news broke, and he said, look, all I know is I don't know what I can predict about Barcelona's team tomorrow, but what I can predict is that I have invested over 100 million euros in Barcelona right now, and he says he thinks that's enough to register all of the players. But the latest news that we are hearing as of now, everyone should be able to go, including the 2 in Roberto and Dembélé, who have renewed their contract, but Jules Koundé is the only one that we may not be able to see tomorrow against Rayo Vallecano.
This is huge for Barcelona, isn't it, Shaka? Because you wondered how it would be going into this first game of the season, but nearly all of them registered there.
It is, and looking at that list, this is a really impressive Barcelona that will be taking the field, and Xavi has at his disposal this season. The question for me will always be around the long-term impact on Barcelona as a football club, how it affects their revenue streams in years to come. But as a football fan, you don't generally look past what game is next, or when next you may be playing against Real Madrid in the case of Barcelona fans. So you understand the excitement from within Catalonia around and with Barcelona fans, but still, just as someone who is separate from that, it feels manufactured. It feels almost dangerous in the sense of how football had been positioning itself for some time around fiscal responsibility.
I wonder, Alexis, what the fans think about this. Are they worried about the long-term implications, or are they happy to be living in the now? Because I know you've been speaking to some of them today.
Yeah, okay, we set out this morning pretty early to try and speak to as many fans as possible. And trust me, it was filled with a bunch of locals and a lot of tourists as well. The ticket line just to get stadium tickets just for the match tomorrow was absolutely long. So it was very, very heaving at the Camp Nou today. And I was trying to speak to a couple of them, fans that had flown all the way even from Mexico just to see this new and improved Barcelona. And the massive consensus is that none of them are really bothered with what's happening behind the scenes or what could happen in the future. I tried to ask them questions if it feels like Barcelona have almost sold their soul to the devil, because that was one of the headlines in the local newspapers here. Because that's, as Shaka said, it feels a bit manufactured. And if you're just quickly trying to find a solution now, could this come back and haunt you? But everyone said, look, we don't care. All we need to know is that we can compete with Real Madrid and we can get back to those glory days. And I compare the Barcelona and the vibe in the city now to what we felt last year when I landed here at this exact time. it was all doom and despair. Lionel Messi had left in tears. Everyone was protesting. You know, they were saying horrible things about the board and the administration. It was really doom and gloom for what the season, you know, would come. And then eventually nobody was really trusting in Ronald Koeman. We knew what happened to him after that before Xavi came in. And you compare it to now, everyone is unbelievably excited. Last time I still saw a ton of Messi shirts. Now I've lost count of the amount of Robert Lewandowski shirts I saw today. And you know what I also saw? A lot of Frankie de Jong shirts. I'm not sure if people came in and just started buying them to hope that he would continue staying. We know that he is a massive, I suppose some people now view him as a massive asset to Barcelona. He has said that he does want to stay. We hear that there's interest, of course, from Chelsea now, on top of the interest from Manchester United. And now Barcelona may be looking still to sell him in order to fully get even more money to then further register Jules Koundé, who we don't doubt that they'll be able to register. But whether it happens next week or the week after, and whether now that is hinging on the sale of Frankie de Jong, is another story. But really and truly, the vibes in comparison to last year here in Catalonia is definitely very positive, and everybody just kind of wants to see Barcelona return to these glory days where they compete with Real Madrid. And it seems, at least for the fans, it doesn't matter what the cost is.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.